Alright guys, okay, so I got a little project I'm going to work on today. I need to go to Home Depot, get some material, but as you can see here, I got an old door, 5-panel door, and I'm actually going to make a headboard for our bed. We had just recently purchased a bed, and the bed doesn't come with any wood frame or nothing like that, a headboard, so I'm going to make one. I want to show you how I'm going to make it today. Okay, so I'm going to take you along with me, show you everything, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do, you guys, I'm taking an old door. You can see this door right here. It's a 5-panel door, okay, and I'm going to make a headboard, okay? Now, my measurements, I'm actually going to be, let's see, it's hard to see this. I'm going to be cutting this last panel off, so I'm going to be cutting this door off right along this edge right here. It's right along this edge. I'm going to be cutting this door off, and that's going to be my length. Now the length is a little bit short, but I'm going to add on to it because I'm going to be actually adding molding all around it. That's how I'm going to be adding, putting some molding with a cap, and then I can add on to the bottom of the door. I can add on to the bottom of the door and put a molding to cover the joint. So that's what I'm going to do, you guys. That's what I'm going to work on today. So I'm going to make me a material list. I'm going to head to Home Depot, get some moldings and some 1-bys and possibly some 2-bys. I'm going to have to rip the 2-bys down because this is like 1 3/8 instead of 1 1/2. I might be able to get by with the whole 2x4s. I won't know till I actually get started on this. I might not even need any 2-bys. I can probably maybe get by with all 1-bys. I doubt that. I don't scratch that. So anyway, I'm excited to get started on this. I've kind of been wanting to make us a headboard, and then I was thinking about making panels, and then by the time I was thinking about my time, I thought about one of these doors. And so for about 2 weeks I've been looking on Craigslist and then on Marketplace and with Facebook, and I came across one last night. I woke up around 3. I had gone to sleep early, so I got all my sleep in. I was up at 3, and I seen one. I sent a message, and early this morning the lady replied back, and it was at a thrift store across the river from us, probably good about 45 minutes to an hour away. So I went and I picked up the door for $45 this morning, and so that's going to cut me material and labor and time in making my those panels. I don't have to make them; they're all there. All I got to do is add on the top and bottom and sides, get my heights, my width, add some moldings, sand it down, fill in with some wood fill areas like, well, I got the doorknob, so I'm just going to get my hole saw set out, cut a hole, and put me a new piece of wood in there. Then, you know, fill over it with wood fill, sand it down, just get this thing looking brand new. And of course I have to paint it. There's going to be no stain involved, but we're going to go ahead and freshly paint it with all the new wood and attach it to the wall. I'm not going to attach it. We bought one of these beds that it's got the frame where the back comes up, you know, even the feet come up, and you can do all that. So we just got that sitting in our room, and it's really empty looking, and so I'm going to make a headboard at least, and then just attach the headboard to the wall, and which would be nice. And then the bed, we can it'll all look like it's attached to the bed, but it's really going to be attached to the wall, and the bed will just be pushed up in yourself. I want to do something a little different, and what made me think of this, you know, back in 2010, I had closed up my business, and I used to, what I did was, after I closed up my business, I had a granite business, cabinets, and I used to sell cabinets, and we used to fabricate granite countertops. And so what I did was, after we shut everything down, I used to just load up, go out every morning, well, not, yeah, just about every morning, but I started learning where the days that people put their trash out. I started in our city, in several cities, all from here to New Orleans, and I would know what day people would put their trash out, and so I would get up early and I would hit these areas. Well, man, I was picking up all kind of stuff and bringing it home, and man, I would do a garage sale that Saturday and make anywhere from $800 to $1,000, and I never dreamed of making that kind of money at a garage sale, because in the past we tried it, just clearing out some of our little stuff in the house. And, you know, if you made $60, $70, you know, you thought, man, that's pretty good, you know. But man, to make $800 to $1,000, well, I was doing this, and I was doing the garage sales every other week, and then I had stuff on Craigslist. Now at this time they didn't have Marketplace, and you didn't have all these other sites. It was just Craigslist. And so I'm posting stuff on Craigslist, selling stuff almost daily. And it was just incredible. I made a living for 2 years like that. And I don't know, I stopped because somebody called me and wanted to know if I wanted to come do the granite in their house, the granite and cabinets. And it was a $2 million home, and they went around to the places, granite places and all, and my name came up several times. So the guy got in touch with me, wanted to know, and I told him I was retired, and I said, and he's like, you know, I'm willing to pay whatever you want. So I said, well, this is what I want. I'm only going to work so many days a week and so many hours a day, and I want this much money, and he agreed to it, and I did that for 1.5 years working for the guy, because it took that long to do all the granite in the cabinets, because he had I don't know how many bathrooms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He had 6 bathrooms in the house. Bedrooms, every bedroom had a bathroom. Then every closet had cabinets in it, cabinetry, and had granite countertops in the closets. All the bathrooms had granite. Had 2 kitchens, one downstairs, one upstairs. The fireplace, just different things. The laundry room we did, and it was all custom stuff. And he had purchased cabinets and granite from closeouts, and he had a warehouse full of stuff. So we would go over there and pick out things. So we built his kitchen, everything. It just took 1.5 years to do, and I worked there for 1.5 years. So that's why I stopped going out every day, and I never did really get back into doing it that way. When I finished that, I just kind of started. I started picking up grass jobs, and I was cutting some yards, and I wouldn't do a lot every year. Just have a few yards, about 5 or 6 a year, and then I was doing some maintenance on some apartments that my daughter worked at. Then it kind of, and then Mindy was cleaning houses, and there was a couple of people I knew that were contractors, and they were doing jobs, and I would go help them with the granite, and you know, and I would pick up some little bathroom jobs here and there. So I was just kind of hustling a little bit like that, and then but I kind of retired from doing all that. I don't want to do none of that no more. Basically, just started really working in my yard, and I love doing this, and so there was a way that I found that I could stay home and still do the same kind of work and have trees and do work in my yard and make money. So that's what I'm doing now. So it's something I desire to do. I pretty much made it happen that way. And so anyway, I'm saying all of that. Why am I saying all that? I really don't remember why. Oh, because what made me think about doing this for a headboard was I had picked up, I don't know, I had like 5 or 6 or 7 old doors like this, cypress doors. I had them listed on Craigslist, and I had a price of just like $40 for them. And I never got any calls, and it was just sitting on Craigslist for months, no calls. And then when I would do garage sales, I'd set them up out here in my front yard when I was doing my garage sales, and I had $40 written on them. Nobody would even think about wanting them. And one Saturday morning, I get up. I'm going to have a garage sale. I'm getting up early, setting up, and I just hear the Lord tell me, go on Craigslist, change the price to $100 a door. I went on Craigslist and edited my post and changed it from $40 a door to $100. Okay. That day, I sold all the doors for $100 a door. And so I can't understand it, can't explain it, except the Lord told me to do it. And the lady that came to buy it, she wanted them because she was making headboards for beds. And they wasn't like this. This is 5 evenly laid out panels. And she didn't have that. She would have like one big panel and the smaller panel, you know, but she was still taking the doors and using them to make headboards. What I'd always stuck in my head, and when we talked about, man, maybe getting a headboard, she wanted something that was tucked, diamond tucked and all that, and I was like, I didn't want to do that. I talked to her about doing this, went online, seen some things that kind of resembled this, and she liked it a lot. So so that's when I went last night. When I woke up this morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I went looking, and I found this door, $45. I went and picked it up. So I just took the hinges off of it, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make me a material list, and then I'm going to go run to Home Depot, get a bunch of material, and I'll meet you back here, and we'll get started cutting the door, squaring it off, because it's not square on this end right here on the top edge. It's not square. I'm going to square it off, and then and then cut the other end that'll have my width, and then we're going to start adding on to both sides, the top and the bottom. And you're going to be with me. I really don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. I have an idea, and I'm going to go to Home Depot, get some material, and then we'll figure it out from there. And hopefully I won't have to run back and forth and get material a couple of times. Maybe I'll just buy a little bit more just to have some extra here, just to make sure I have enough to do what I want to do. So I'm going to go run there now, and I'll meet you back here with the material. And you can be ready. Maybe you might even want to take some notes if you might want to get some ideas from this to maybe do something for yourself in your home. It's going to be real simple, you guys. It's not hard at all, because the hard part of all this, making all these panels, it's done. So for $45, I got that done. If I had to do that with material, time, and labor, it would have cost probably well over the $45 for sure. It would have probably been in, I would say, in the $200 to $300 range. Okay, from your time too, you know, your labor. So so we're cutting, you know, I would say $250 off this by purchasing a door for $45. And so, okay, guys, I'll see you back here shortly with the material. And okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back from Home Depot. I got my supplies I need, but it's 4 o'clock, okay, and I'm not going to do anything today, so we're going to wait till tomorrow, and we'll get started on it, because by the time I break out the tools, I mean, it's going to be getting dark in an hour to an hour and a half from now, and then I got to pick everything up. I'd rather not go through that. So because I got things I got to do here. I got to feed the chickens and the quail and collect the eggs and all that. But anyway, so in the morning we'll start it. Good morning. All right. So it's the next day. I'm gonna start working on the headboard for my bed. I got it covered up just so all the dew wouldn't, you know, saturate everything. And so what I'm gonna do this morning, I got some chores to do. I gotta feed the ladies and take care of the quail. Do a few little things before I get started here, and then I'm gonna get all the tools out, the saws out, and then I'll get back with you guys. And actually, I'll be meeting you back here by the door, and we'll get started on making a headboard. Okay, I'll show you how I'm gonna do it. Okay, so now this gives me my 60.5. So that's basically the size of the mattress. And now I'm going to add outwardly onto that. So here we go. So I'm going to try to explain some as I go. You can watch and catch on to a lot of what I'm doing. All right, guys. Right now, what I'm fixing to work on is my two legs. Now, I was just inside with the wife, and we came up with a height of 55 inches. Okay, so that's the height we're going to make this. Okay, so right now what I'm going to work on is the two side rails. So I had set up my table saw to the thickness of the door, which is 1 3/8, and I ripped a 2x4 down, and I got me my two pieces, the thickness of the door. And now I'm going to take a 1x6 and I'm going to cut 2 55s out of it. Okay, now that I have that cut, just to kind of give you an idea what I'm going to do, I got to go get my glue and set my nail gun up and stuff. But basically, okay, I'm gonna have a leg like this. So this is going to be under here because this is the thickness of the door. So this thing could be flush against the wall. Got what I'm saying? Okay. All right. And then I'll be adding some 1-bys here and here, and put my cap on, trim it, and that's basically going to be how simple this is. So let me get this set up to nail these legs together. If you're making something that's going to, you want it to be, you know, permanent, always glue. Always use your glue. It'll make things last longer. Now, these have a little cup to it, and what you want to do too is you want to look at the grain of your wood. And you see how this grain, I don't know if you can tell, but see how it's running this way? So it's going to automatically want to cup this way. Alright, so I'm putting that, I don't want it cupping up on me, I'd rather have it cupped down. So, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so what I did, I planning on having a 2-inch reveal all the way around because I'm gonna have, I'm just boxing it in, basically boxing it in with some 1-bys. Here's the leg, and I'm gonna attach with my pocket screws. I'm going to attach one here, and then one like around right here. Okay? Alright, so that's what I'm going to work on right now. Alright guys, so I did some sanding on the door, and then I went ahead and attached the frame I made to the door. I just screwed it in. You can see the screws. I got to fill it. I'm going to fill all them with wood filler. I'm fixing to make the cap right now, which I measured it. And I got to add for my overhang, so I got that figured. Let me cut that now. Okay, I got the little small crown on. It's looking good. Okay, got all the moldings done. So it's actually done. Now all I do is finish it. I gotta paint it, sand it, fill it. Alright guys, this is it right here. This is how it's looking. You know, so I used a 1x6 here on each end, a 1x4 here, and up there. I made a 2-inch reveal all the way around here in the inside. Okay. This I added 8 inches to the total measurement that I had to my bed. My bed is 60 wide, so now it's 68 wide. Okay, and so that's cool. It leaves about 4 inches on each side. That's perfect. I don't want a whole bunch sticking out. And then later on, if I make a footboard and some side rails, if I'm too wide, I'm not going to be able to do that. So now I'm in the range where I could add side rails to this, and if I make a footboard later, and I might, you know, I mean, right now we don't have the space in our little house in our room, but when we move, if we're thinking that we're going to get a king size bed when we move, because we're going to hopefully have more space, and then we'll give our bed, the queen bed, to my daughter Kara, and this will be her headboard, but then I'll make a matching footboard for it, and then I'll make a new one for us, you know. But that's the plan, you guys. I couldn't. It was hard. It's real hard to video when you're by yourself and working. You really need to have, you know, somebody videoing me and everything while I'm working, and it's so hard. It's so hard to do. But this is how it come out. There's the door in the middle. That was a door I purchased for $45. Yesterday I spent $80 on material, and I have a 10-foot 1x6 to bring back, and a 8-foot piece of trim that I'm returning. So I'm going to probably be in the $70 range, and 40, so for about 120 bucks. I got to still buy the paint, buy a quart of paint, and so that's what it's costing me, probably about 120 to 100, and let's say 150. Be safe. Because I bought some wood filler, which was $8. Already had sandpaper, so let's figure about 150. You could do this if you have to buy everything, and you might be able to find you a door and get a door a little cheaper. You might be able to make a deal with somebody and get the door a little cheaper. I paid $45 for the door. I was real happy. I'm real happy with the way the job's coming out. So now I got everything with wood fill all over it. So I'm gonna make a run to Home Depot right now, return that other stuff, and get me a quart of paint, and when I get back, this should be ready to start sanding this down. I'm gonna sand it real good, and then check everything fill in anything else that needs to be filled in, because a lot of times once you sand it down, there's still spots you got to touch up that you missed or you didn't see, or you don't see till after you start sanding. So yeah, so that's where we at with this thing, you guys. I'm real pleased at the way it came out, and I think Mindy's going to be real pleased with it. Actually, she's seen it already and she was real pleased. So alright, so I'm gonna go Home Depot, do that, and see you when I get back. Alright guys, I didn't think I was gonna get it done today. You need to look at it. Here it is. I'm gonna be putting it in. I'm letting it dry a little more, but that's it, baby. There's 2 coats of paint on it. I mean, it looks really, really good. I'm really happy with this. Let me get some close-ups for you guys. So this part is an original door. It had 5 panels. I cut one off because we just have a queen bed, which is actually 5 feet wide. So this thing here is actually 5 feet 8 inches wide now. So it's a little. It's going to be about 4 inches just sticking out from the bed, and that's fine. It gives me 4 inches. And if I ever need to put a railing on, a railing to make a frame, I got plenty room to do it. This really looks good, you guys. So 1x4. This is a crown molding. This is just an inside cove molding. Now this was on the door originally. I did a 2-inch, where we at, 2-inch reveal all the way around. I think it looks really good. Then I went ahead and I boxed in under here. I added a piece of wood, even though you're really not going to see that because that's going to be up. But I just did it, and then I added it in just to close in the sides, give it that thick look. And yeah, I'm pleased with this, really am. Okay, so my battery is low, very low. I want to save what I have to get the rest of this for tonight. So I'll be seeing y'all when I'm putting it up in the bedroom, okay? Alright guys, just excuse the mess in here because I'm moving all kind of stuff around. Plus we are in the process of renovating and doing things, but this is it now. This is the headboard on our bed that I just made. And so I think it looks good. Looks good. Alright guys, so just want to give y'all that update, let y'all see that, and alright, see you guys on the next video. Y'all be blessed.